Hey, folks, Palmer Tom's DawgsHQ here, team reporter, beat reporter for the Bulldogs, covering Georgia basketball, football, baseball, all you can cover. And today we're talking a little bit of hoops. The Hoop Hounds pick up a big addition, 5-star plus power forward Asa Newell in the class of 2024, joined by Jamie Shaw, national basketball recruiting analyst for On3, to discuss what the addition of the big man, 6'9", big man originally out of Athens, Georgia. So he's coming home, but he's spent a little bit of time down in Florida as well for playing his prep ball. Jamie, really appreciate you joining us, and just tell us a little bit about Asa. You've seen him in action a couple of times.
Well, first off, this is a huge get for Mike White. He's swimming in deep waters now. This is a 5-star plus recruit. He's a consensus 5-star across all 4 platforms. He is a 6'9", athletic player who's got huge upside, and that's what you love about what Asa could end up being as a player as he continues to grow. But he held off overtures from Alabama and Gonzaga, big name programs that do well in recruiting, that go after 5 stars yearly, Texas as well, and held them off and closed the deal and got Asa Newell as a prospect. So Asa's a great player on the floor. He's a 5-star for very good reason with his experience internationally and what he's done at Montverde and the continued development. But it kind of puts people on notice coming off of last year's class where he got 2 4-stars with Blue Kane and Silas Demery, coming into this year, being able to land a 5-star, that Mike White is making noise.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right there that it kind of shows the trajectory of Georgia basketball and where this program could be headed. Starting to stack a class of 2024 on a class of 2023. Newell, the first commitment in the class, and potentially a couple more that could be coming. Georgia being mentioned with the likes of Darian Reed and Connie Ruths, 2 top 30 players that Georgia is heavily in on, the RPM favorite. Just what does this say about to you, somebody that covers the sport on a national level? You're at ACC Media Days right now. We're talking an SEC program, and SEC Media Days were last week. Just what does this say to you about Mike and where this Georgia basketball program could be going? Because for the longest time it has felt like the state of Georgia is a hotbed for recruiting, and teams are coming in left and right and taking great players. And now you're seeing Mike come in his entering his second season, and he's starting to land players from the state. Asa being originally from here, again, Darian Reed, somebody that they are heavily in on, and he's been on official visits. He's from the Peach State as well.
Yeah, so being able to go start and finish with Asa Newell, there's a lot of ties to Georgia. Obviously, his brother's on the team. Eric Pastrana was his very first offer when Eric was at Oklahoma State. And then you have the fact that he's from Athens. For Mike White to go start to finish, hold off schools like Gonzaga, hold off schools like Texas and Alabama, as I mentioned before, it shows that he can swim in those deep waters and land players. Asa, he has international experience with USA Basketball. He's plays for Montverde Academy, 6'9", bouncy. He's trending toward what basketball is today, with his versatility, with his touch, with the promise of outside shooting as he continues to develop, with the bounciness, the switchability, the length, and all that. He is kind of facing what basketball is turning into recently. Mike White has shown that he can jump in there and close a player, and keep a player home, put the fence around the borders, and keep the talent home, and hold off the people outside, and land the 5 stars that you need to compete at the highest level, not only in the SEC, but nationally.
Yeah, you said it right there that he'll need to continue to do this. You've mentioned that Team USA experience a little bit. Got the stats pulled up here. 7 games for Team USA in the U19 FIBA Men's World Cup this past summer, I guess. averaged 7.7 points, 5.6 rebounds, 2.3 blocks per game in action on the international level. Also was a member of the U17 national team in 2022, had 13 points against Lebanon, 8 rebounds against Slovenia. Both of those were in the group phase tournament high totals for him. Had one of his best games in the third place game against Turkey, scoring 11 points, bringing in 6 rebounds as well. And look, like you've mentioned the high school that he plays at as well. You know, having been down to Florida, you know, he started his career in Fort Walton Beach, was averaging, you know, double digits there, 14.7 points, 8.7 rebounds per game as a sophomore, and then transferring to Mountain Verde, where he is, you know, going into his senior season, you know, put up really good stats as his junior as well. Like you said, against really good competition and alongside some really good players. So Newell's going to work to bring some other really good players to Athens. We mentioned a couple of those, you know, Darian Reed and Connie Roots. Just, Jamie, what's your general feeling about where this class of 2024 for Georgia could be headed? Ranked number 9 right now, Newell being the only commit that they've got. But again, you know, like we said, building on a strong class of 2023, adding Silas Demery and Blue Kane late, and you know, also bringing in the likes of Mari Jordan and Dylan James in the earlier signing period.
Well, one thing you'll like to find, and I'm sure that you're seeing that on the football side at Georgia as well, good players like to play with good players. Getting Asa Newell in the fold, closing him out, having him publicly commit and say that he's going to Georgia does wonders, because they are in the mix right now for other top 25 type of players, as you said, Kanai Roos as well as Darian Reed. So getting the commitment is the first step. It's huge, and it's all that. But as I said, good players like to play around, be surrounded by other good players. And, you know, it's huge that Asa came out, because there's still, I guess, November 8th is the early signing period. There's still a couple more weeks left before these other players commit and all that type of stuff too. So now it gives time to be able to say, hey, come, you know, to recruit as the player, to recruit as the coach and the staff, to really, you know, throw the pitch out of let's build something.
Yeah, and what'll also help Mike White and company is a strong season, strong showing this season. The 2023-24 campaign gets underway here in just about a week and a half. Georgia's got its first and only exhibition of the season against Eastern Kentucky coming next Monday, and then they will hit the road to Las Vegas, where they'll open the season against Oregon before returning home to take on Wake Forest with an opportunity for revenge there. Jamie, really appreciate your insight here, and we'll have you covered with basketball recruiting, basketball team coverage as well, and all the Georgia sports you could ask for over at DawgsHQ. Come check us out. Appreciate it, Jamie.
Palmer, thank you so much. I also want to mention, too, what great job y'all do covering the program and all that type of stuff. I mean, over this, you know, it's just a great job. So everybody who's listening or whatnot, make sure that you go subscribe and tune in to DawgsHQ, because they do top-notch coverage of the Georgia program, not just football, but also basketball and everything as well, too. So great job to you guys, Palmer.
Thanks, Jamie.